back with another video, and today's gonna be a pretty darn special video. This is my first impression of a very expensive piece of tech I have right here. This is the GTX Titan X Maxwell. And you're gonna be like, oh my god, why'd you buy a Maxwell card? Well, I've been researching about it for a bit, and first of all, Titans are cool. I'm gonna set it in the box right now. Like, even the box is cool. Look at that. So, like, Titans are really cool, first of all. They look really nice because they have, like, black all over them, which will fit my case scheme really well. I'm gonna have a black and red style scheme. And second of all, it has a ton more VRAM. And for the same price that I bought this at, I would be able to get a low-end 1070, and I would be getting around 4 more gigabytes of VRAM on this Maxwell card than the Pascal 1070. Now, you're going to be like, David, you want faster speed for gaming, right? And my answer to you is absolutely. You're never going to use 12 gigs of VRAM in a game unless you're playing at like 8K resolution or something like that. And so my personal thought is, since I'm using this for DaVinci Resolve, which wants more VRAM and speed, this card is around 3% slower than the 1070, which means practically the same, you know. And so 3% slower, meaning practically the same, and it has 4 more gigs of VRAM. I think DaVinci Resolve will like 4 more gigs of VRAM more than 3% faster effective speed. Now, this card right here is a heck of a big card. It's about a foot long, so it's 12 inches or so long. And now, that's really cool and all, but the back is bare, first of all, since this is Maxwell and NVIDIA didn't put backplates on it for the reference designs. So it's all bare and you can see all the chips. That's kind of cool, except it's not good for aesthetics. So when I put it in a case and I stick it in my case, I can sometimes see the top because I'm not going to be crouching down and looking at my case all the time from the side. So most of the time I'll be seeing the top and the sides the most. So, yeah, which, this isn't aesthetically pleasing, but, I'll have to get over it. Now, this card is a blower style card, like all reference cards from NVIDIA, or as they call it now, Founders Edition cards. Now, that's good for SFF or small form factor cases, but this guy is so ginormous that I don't think it would fit in most SFF cases. The Node 202, I think this is longer than the case would allow a video card. I think this is just way too large for SFF, and not everyone is going to have an SFF. Most people use mid-tower ATX cases, not SFF. So it's kind of dumb, in my opinion, to have a reference cooler on on a card that's so large that I doubt it would fit in many SFF cases, and then match the cooling design with all SFF cases. I would think that's rather dumb, but the design came out looking fantastic, so I'll have to give them that. Now, what a blower style cooler actually is, if you didn't know, is it sucks air through the front, or wherever, it doesn't really matter, and then it pulls it through here, and there's a aluminum fin stack, so it's a heatsink with fins pointing like this, so that air would rush through it, take the air off the fins, and then shoot it out of the back, so it's an exhaust here. What that's cool for is you're basically kind of using this as, oh my god, as a super powerful and huge fan, effectively. So you're basically getting this, you're sucking in all the hot air from your case, and then pulling it through, and then taking it out of the case. Now that's good in a way. But what that's not good for is that means you're pulling in hot air from the case through here, and this is a very hot card, so you're pulling in hot air to cool a hot card. Now you might be telling me, David, all graphics cards do that. They don't pull in cold air from the outside and stuff. That's why there's such thing as case fans. And I get that. But in SFF cases, you don't get that many case fans to do it. And the thing is, guys, the problem is there's only one fan. Most other graphics cards will have more than one fan, at least at this size. This is a massive graphics card. It would normally have 3 fans on this lane, but it has 1 fan. So cooling is going to be very inadequate. It's a blower style, so you kind of have to expect that. But yeah, whatever. So let's go over whatever I/O and ports there are to cover. Now there's a bunch of display ports, there's HDMI, and then there's a DVI, then there's a bunch of exhaust room here, and then there is the PCIe X16 3.0, that's the 3rd gen PCIe slot, and then on the top here, there is a 8-pin and a 6-pin connector for power. It takes in around 250 watts of power. It's a very, very power-hungry card. Now, I did color this part red. I'm still coloring it. It's a custom paint job-ish. I'm trying to get this to be completely red because that would be sick since this is an LED. And this part right here, I'll flip it over. This gold contact is the SLI bridge connector. Yeah. Now, on the back you will see that this is a very cool card. There's the GPU right here, and then there's a bunch of memory, okay, my fingers don't reach, memory chips and power blocking, and I'm not really sure about the internals of this, but I do know it's fast, okay? So, this is actually very heavy. I'm not sure if I told you that already. It's very, very heavy. People keep on asking for metal shrouds, which Vega, obviously, the Vega Limited Edition, obviously has a metal shroud. But I'm kind of worried about metal shrouds, because if this is this heavy, then metal shrouds would be so much heavier. And then that would make the thing sag, and I'm afraid about the PCIe connectors breaking off on both the motherboard or on just the case. I mean the graphics card, yeah. So, yeah. Cases are going to have to do a lot more clever tricks to make sure the graphics card isn't so heavy that it just snaps off, you know, but yeah, so this was my GTX Titan X Maxwell first impressions video. If you liked this video, click the like button. If you disliked it, click the dislike button. And make sure you guys subscribe for more cool content like this. I'm having a editing rig build coming soon. So, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next